Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexi Odds here. It's Monday morning. The Raptors are in Phoenix to play the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Woo. Let's keep this West Coast trip going and some good vibes by beating the Phoenix Suns tonight. 9 p.m. is the start time. I feel okay about this game tonight, although the Suns are playing better recently. They've won out of like 6 out of their last 7 games or something. So they are kind of rolling right now. They've had different periods of the season where they've done very well and when they haven't done very well. And they're kind of in the period of the season where they're doing kind of well. So this will be kind of a test compared to when Phoenix came to Toronto, and we did beat them already this season. So if we beat Phoenix tonight, we can sweep them for the year. And, in a year where you're sub 500 and you're struggling to get in the play in, the more teams you can beat in the season series as the year goes on, like Cleveland, New York, just recent Portland, the happier I am. So let's go ahead and let's beat Phoenix tonight and sweep them for the season. That would be badass. I love that. Let me check in with the comments, the early comments so far. It looks like it's logical. Raptors fanatic is here. Mike, good morning, Mike. I checked Aaron Rose's salary projections. Me and him are on the same page in a sense. Everything is similar, a couple of tweaks, but the one thing different was OG at 30% max. And that's because this year's jump. Of how he's played. So he's increasing the money for OG in his numbers more than what you had him at. Okay, interesting. Mike's saying, here's the breakdown of mine. Aaron, yours and Aaron's. Spicy 5 years, 30% max, the same. Fred 4 years, 29 million a year. 4 years, 31 million. OG 3 years, 24 million, 30% max. Gary Trent Jr., 4 years at 24 million a year, 4 years at 60. Okay, I see you're separating them. It's not very easy to read and to delineate what's going on here, but it seems like you guys' numbers are very similar on all the main players. Mike's also saying, and Scotty, 5 years, 25% max, same. I did mine in the summer before anyone added their 2 cents and saw the salary cap issues coming up in the summer. The reason I started my channel is to ring the alarm on this. Okay, well, I'm just happy to see that there is a plan and a way to do this. In fact, Monique posted something on Instagram yesterday that was very interesting to me. Masai Ujiri wants to keep the Raptors together. This is from Josh Lewenberg. That is fantastic. I want to see if is this recent, Monique, because I had trying to find this from the recent place of where I could find this. Let me see. Hang on, Lewenberg. Does he say where? I don't see it right now, but I like that little post that Monique put of Masai quoted as saying, uh, you know, that he wants to keep this core together. That Masai, that's what Masai is saying, apparently, according to Monique. All right, let's see. Tom Duke's here. Looks like he's got the early worm gets the bird, or the bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Let's go. There's the Raptor lineup, and thanks for the breakdown, Mike and Lex. Thank you, Tom Duke and Aaron. Monique is saying, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. It's a team effort to slow down CP3, tire him out, and watch out for the threes. Yeah, that's a good key to the victory. Was Chris Paul is the point guard that Fred gets today. Because he's going on a West Coast tour of very good point guards. He's had to play De'Aaron Fox, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and now it will be Chris Paul for tonight's game. Western Conference point guard gauntlet that Fred VanVleet has had to contend with since he's gone on this West Coast road trip, and now Chris Paul is the next level of competition. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it is. Chris is getting older, and I think that Fred has a good matchup against him. If I remember correctly, in matchups recently, in recent years, we've handled Chris Paul pretty well, and he hasn't been too much of a problem. and Fred's actually outplayed him. So yeah, and thanks to Tom, also the cook with the plates, according to Isaac Campbell. Christian Coloco on his Instagram has a picture of the desert, and it says Scottsdale, Arizona. So yes, we can confirm the Raptors are in Arizona because of Christian's Instagram. All right, I'm a little weird today, but anyway. All right, here we go. Here's some news and notes, Suns related. Shams is reporting in the last half hour that the Suns have given permission to the Milwaukee Bucks to meet with Jay Crowder ahead of the trade deadline. So there you go. Jay Crowder is somebody on the Phoenix Suns that has not been playing for them this year. He has been away from the Suns all season while the team explores avenues to trade him, and has been working out daily in Atlanta in order to stay ready for his next opportunity to play. So yeah, no Jay Crowder tonight, y'all. This is the injury report. Cameron Payne is still out. He will be reevaluated in the next couple of days. Devin Booker is going to be reevaluated in the next couple of days. Also, he is still out. And Landry Shamet has been ruled out for today's matchup against the Raptors. It is his foot. So this is kind of similar injury list as when we saw Phoenix here in Toronto last fall. That they didn't have Booker. Booker had just gotten hurt, actually. And Shamet wasn't there either, and neither was Cam Payne. So, yeah, we're going to see a similar Suns team as the one we saw before. I think was that at the beginning of January? I'm not sure. I think we might have played Phoenix at the very beginning of January when we beat them. I don't remember. As losing makes it all kind of bleed together. I don't know what's going on. So they'll have Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, DeAndre Ayton, Damian Lee, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, Bismack Biyombo, Saban Lee, who's still up from the 905, helping the Phoenix Suns. He's technically on our team, but he's on the Suns because they need guards because all their guards are out. Dario Saric, Jock Landell, Ish Wainwright, Dwayne Washington Jr. These are the names of the core of the Phoenix Suns right now. And Saban Lee is their backup point guard. So when Chris Paul comes out, Saban Lee comes in. There you go. And on our side, the Toronto Raptors injuries for right now are OG has been ruled out for the game today already. It's his wrist. They ruled him out yesterday or early yesterday. And then Delano is still questionable for today's game. It's his hip. Otto Porter out with toe surgery. So yeah, those are the injuries for today. Still a lot of guards injured for the Suns, so they don't have their best guard contingencies. Devin Booker is not playing. We are not going to have to face him this year. No Raptor mascot versus Devin Booker this year. He missed both games against the Raptors this year. And I wonder, it probably has nothing to do with the Raptor, but pretty funny. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. Mike's saying, salute the real ones. Project Truth always. Yeah, we're like 2 million off in an amount offer than OG, and that's based on timing of the season and how OG is done this year. But he wants Thad gone to fix next year. I'm okay with that. In some ways, Thaddeus has been great, and he's been a really good mentor in some ways. But also, he's getting older. 18th season, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Thaddeus. Summer saying, is Joe Weiskamp gone for good now? Yeah, he is, Summer. I mean, they didn't re-up with him after the second 10-day contract ran out. I guess it ran out like on Thursday of this past week. So he hadn't been available for the last 2 games. And yeah, he's not on the team officially anymore at this point. They have an open roster spot, which is a room for flexibility to get somebody new to put in there. Or maybe if we're doing trade or something, who knows? They have it open right now. So there is an open roster spot. Tom saying, Joe Wieskamp rejoined the G League team Wisconsin Herd for the remainder of the 2022-23 season. Why didn't we keep him on 905? I don't know. Maybe they just, like I said, like they want to have a fluid spot just in case for movement and things that are happening. Maybe they liked him for a little while. Maybe he helped them with some shooting stuff behind the scenes. Not that he helped them like a coach. It's just sometimes players come in here and they have vibes and they have like ways that they are with their shot, and it rubs off on people. And all of a sudden, oh, we're shooting better a little bit because Joe came around and he had good shooting kind of vibes. So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't hold on to him, have him around still. Once again, we got to just trust Bobby and Masai that they're making the decisions that's right. And they're not going to be perfect all the time. But I hate this whole thing where Raptor fans, we just fall in love with players and we're like, oh, they're going to do it. And we want them to be on a career arc where they're just incredible. And a lot of times it's just like this. It's like you come in, take a look at the player, and then, it's you're great, but you're not super thrilling. And, you're not making us want to have to absolutely keep you around. He probably did all the best he could, but it still didn't. It just was. This was what they had planned already with him, kind of to a degree. It's just kind of like hang out for a little bit. We need another person just in case. And now they want the. I guess they just want the flexibility to go in a lot of different directions of having an open roster spot. So who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? It's going to be very interesting. But yeah, he's on Wisconsin herd. Well, this is the thing. They sign these contracts with these teams like, Saban Lee, Sterling Brown, and they get to go to like main rosters. That's basically what Joe did. He came to our team from the Wisconsin Herd G League, and we used him for a little while, and now he's back in Milwaukee's system. So he is, yeah, but that doesn't mean he technically can go just straight to Milwaukee either, because he's not a two-way. So he's available for us to pick up again if we really, really want to. So it's not like we can't ever get him again. We could go talk to him again later if we want to. Monique's saying rebounds are important in this game, but they are so injured too. Let's go Raptors. Feeling great. Yeah, I mean, it's Deandre Ayton. He's had a weird year. We know that he's not happy there. We know that him and the coach don't get along. We know that he has been like very erratic from game to game. Some nights he's a double-double and he's amazing. And some nights he really doesn't seem like he's trying. So it'll be very interesting. I have him on my fantasy team. So I've been paying a lot of attention to the DeAndre Ayton. And he's not been consistent this year. And the other thing is, this is right around that trade period that he might get moved because he's not happy there. In fact, I think he's telling the Suns on the down low to trade him right now. And that this is another underlying problem with the Suns team right now is they've got players that don't want to be there because it's a toxic team franchise from Robert Sarver and the culture of the front office. And then also, Jay Crowder didn't show up. DeAndre Ayton's not happy. There's a lot of issues with the Suns. And these are the reasons why they're nowhere near the crazy great record they had last season. And they're a middling kind of team right now. So Mike's saying there's limits to how many times you can 10-day a guy in certain period. We saw DJ Wilson get 2 10 days. Then he came back on another 10-day, then converted to a minimum contract. We could see Joe again. Yeah, okay, we could see him again. Summerlow saying Ayton is horrible. I hope we don't get him. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at one point this past summer. We did a Thursday think tank on acquiring DeAndre Ayton and him coming to Toronto and whether it would work. And we all came to the conclusion we didn't want it, even last summer. And part of it is like his issues with Monty Williams are not attractive. Like, him like getting yelled at in the middle of the playoffs for not trying is very much a very bad like reputation thing for DeAndre Ayton. And he's not somebody I would like on our team at this point either. There may be like, a year or so ago, or maybe before, but at this point, I don't really want him on this team. But I don't think that, like, listen, I'm hearing more and more noise that the Raptors are very happy with their core and they're not going to do any deals like that. Like I said, Masai has been quoted, and I don't know where that quote is from, Monique, as saying he likes his core and he wants to keep this core together. I wonder if that's a recent comment. I'm not totally sure, but that's very interesting to me. All right, here's something interesting that just broke or just got posted on Twitter. It's on Vivek Jacobs' Twitter. I had not seen this. I'm reading this for the first time. This is from Shams and directly with some details on Nick Nurse's future. Some of the frustration of this season being directed at him is to be expected. Everyone should be held accountable. What's more, all right, this is the quote from Shams. What's more, Nick Nurse's future as Raptors head coach is expected to come into focus this summer when sources say he will be entering the final year of his contract going into next season. After 2019-20 season, 2020 season, Nurse, who guided the Raptors to the 2019 NBA championship, won Coach of the Year in 2020, and is regarded among the league's best coaches, signed a contract extension through 2023 to 2024 worth $8 million per year. The length of the deal has not been previously disclosed by the team. There's been frustration throughout the roster and staff with the team's play at points of this season, and that has been directed toward Nurse at times too, according to sources. Okay, so all right, this is something we've got to think about also, is that there could be a lot of noise this summer about Nick Nurse getting an extension on his contract. So yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily bad there. That all sounds pretty fair considering what's been happening with the team. Yeah, all right, let me check the referees for you guys for tonight's game against Phoenix. Our referee crew chief tonight is James Capers Jr., Nepo baby. He's been in the league for 29 years. His father was a referee way before him, and his James Capers Sr. James Capers Jr. His favorite TV show is Blackish. His favorite movie is Malcolm X. His favorite musician is Jill Scott. His favorite book is The Shack. His favorite app is Pandora. Bucket list is to attend an English Premier League soccer match, and he's very good at bid whist. He would like a lobster roll from Martha's Vineyard, Tom Duke. So if you get him a lobster roll from Martha's Vineyard. Now, James Capers is one of the longest standing referees in the league. He has been around forever, guys. And he's annoying. He does not like the Raptors. He's a referee that does not give us respect, and he's usually pretty mean to us. He's our worst referee today. We win 46% of the time. The last time he refereed a game for us this season, we lost. And the Suns win 56% of the time. So there's the split for James Capers Jr., 46 to 56 for the Suns. So the crew chief is not our friend. The second ref is, though, his name is Deandre Taylor, and he's one of our favorite refs. He's from Miami, Florida. He's in his 10th season as a ref. His favorite TV show is Good Times. That is a fantastic television show. For favorite movie is Crash. His favorite musician is, let me see. So you want to be starting something, got to be starting something. So you want to be starting something, got to be starting something. Too high to get over, too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. That's where we are in the standings. We're stuck in the middle, Deandre Taylor. And Michael Jackson is his favorite musician. His favorite book is Tears, We Cannot Stop. His favorite app is Candy Crush. He'd most like to visit Africa. He'd like to go skydiving someday on his bucket list. And his hidden talent is playing the trumpet and juggling. I wonder if he does that at the same time. Can you play the trumpet and juggle at the same time, Deandre Taylor? And his favorite meal is breakfast. He is not specifying. He just wants a general breakfast. So this is the guy who can go downstairs at the Days Inn and just take that continental breakfast. And that's good. That's good food for him. Deandre Taylor was an athletic specialist for the city of North Miami Beach Parks and Recreation Department for a while. And he also drove as a UPS driver for 13 years. Deandre is one of our favorite refs out of the whole entire league. We win 72% of the time when he's refereeing. That is a top 5 ref for us out of all the refs in the league. We did lose the last game he ref, and the Suns win 46% of the time. So the split is 72% for Raptors, 46% for the Suns. So yeah, we like Deandre Taylor, the second ref. The third ref is Matt Boland. He's in his 21st season. He's from Manchester, Connecticut. His favorite TV show, Seinfeld. His favorite movie is Tin Cup. His favorite musician is Don't Come Around Here No More. You know what you're looking for. Don't come around here no more. Tom Petty, and his favorite book is High Performance Habits. His favorite app is Dark Sky. Is that connected to the dark web? Matt Boland, are you on the dark web? And would you like to visit? Well, he'd like to go to Scotland and play golf at Augusta National is his bucket list. His favorite meal is pizza. So we've got a lobster roll, breakfast food, and pizza on the menu for the referees today. Just pizza. Doesn't say anything kind. At least it's not just cheese pizza like Eric Lewis, cheese pizza motherfucker. So yeah, all right, here we go. Not to have anything against people who like cheese pizza. I just like making fun of that guy for liking cheese pizza. All right, so Matt Boland, he is refereed in the WNBA for 5 years. 2 years in the G League, 7 years in the CBA. That's the old school Continental Basketball Association way back. So he has a lot of experience refereeing in different leagues. He also refed for 5 years in the United States Basketball League. He's an accomplished golfer, and he has competed in several PGA of America events and worked as a PGA professional. So Matt Boland's actually a professional golfer. So there you go. He also served in the Connecticut National Guard from 1987 to 1995. He was commissioned second lieutenant in 1990 before being promoted to first lieutenant in 1992. So he's a serviceman also and a PGA golfer. Matt Boland. We win 48% of our games when Matt's around. He's not a great ref for us, but the Suns only win 44% of their games. So we do get favor from Matt Boland. We lost the last time Matt Boland was our ref. So all three refs, we lost the last time they ref, but two of them favor us. The crew chief does not. There you go. There's the refs in a nutshell today. So yeah, lobster roll, breakfast, pizza. There it is. There's a lobster, there's a baguette, and there's a egg in a frying pan. There's some bacon, there's some cheese, and a cheese pizza. There we go. Thank you, Tom Duke. Very quick on the delivery of the food for the referees. Hopefully we'll be very quick to jump on top of the Phoenix Suns with the lead and kick their ass the whole entire game. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, let's keep going with the comments. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Hoping a W tonight. I have mixed emotions over all this trade talk. I feel Pascal Fred OG was never given a chance to succeed without a center, fully and a bench. The trio unfairly slandered. I don't think they're on their way out yet. And it sounds like you're already ready for somebody to leave or something to happen. I don't know if there's a lot of signs pointing that the Raptors aren't going to do anything, and that people are kind of freaking out. We don't need to, because I think that they're going to keep going with these guys. I really want to know when that Masai Ujiri quote was from, Monique, and when you found that. That's on your Instagram. Some are saying after watching the Warriors game against us, their offense is far more polished. Wonder why Nick Nurse doesn't steal some of their plays. I think he did, though, Summer. If you watch the Portland game, they did some things that were much better. I talked about this in the reaction to the Trailblazers game, that in some ways the Warriors rubbed off on us on Friday night, and we had a little bit better passing and better ball movement against the Trailblazers. Sometimes that happens. You play a team and they do things against you, and you're like, that pisses me off. I hate it. Let me do this to somebody else. So I think that there was a bit of that from Friday night playing the Warriors, that, they're a veteran team, they're older, and they are more polished offensively than us, and that we saw some of the things that they did, and maybe we did steal from their homework. I wouldn't doubt it, that they for sure probably ripped them off in some ways. And if anything, that being around that energy and getting beat by it makes you kind of like, I want to be like it a little bit in some ways. So I think there was some of that for sure, the stealing of their plays, or at least their energy and the way they like to play, their philosophies, I should say. Mike's saying, I saw the Miles Turner extension. It's interesting. He was getting $18 million for this year, but renegotiated to $35 million and 2 more years at $30 million. So on trade availability, he's off the market at the moment, I think. Wow. So his renegotiating his contract has made it very much harder to deal with him. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, honestly, Mike. All right, let me keep going with what I'm looking at this morning. Obviously, this saga with the the Boston and Lakers game on Saturday night is still ongoing. The referees union has come out and spoken about the mistake at the end of the game by crew chief Eric Lewis. Let me read some of this. This is a quote from the union, the referees union. Like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut wrenching for us. This will play heavy. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. Sleepless nights for these refs because of the Celtics Lakers game this weekend. Even though they should have called a foul on Jason Tatum on LeBron James' last second layup attempt, and they were tied 105 to 105, and that would have meant LeBron could have go to the line and win the game just with a free throw, and they didn't give him that opportunity. And Lakers forward Anthony Davis said, "We got cheated tonight. Honestly, it's unacceptable." And then the NBA had not released its last 2 minutes report game for the game yet, but Darvin Ham was quoted as saying, "I don't want to see another 2 minute report. They can save that. It does no one any good." And he's so right about that. Those 2 minute reports are stupid because it's not like they go back and change anything if they got it wrong. They just tell you we got it wrong, and we're human, and we're sorry, but nothing happens. It's just like, okay, we got it wrong. So annoying. And LeBron is saying that he thinks that this is only happening to the Lakers. LeBron, you're so silly. You think that only happens to you guys because he thinks that there's been a late game call that's gone against them a couple times in the recent weeks. They said at least 4 times the Lakers have been screwed by the refs at the end of the game with a ref hit job. And LeBron's is saying, I don't see it happening to nobody else. It's just weird, man. All right, LeBron, you think you're that special? Well, it's happening to the Raptors too. It does happen to other teams also. But this whole saga, like I said, this is mainstream. This is Lakers versus Celtics. This is Laker fans pissed off. This is Celtic fans worried because they're finally being outed for getting handheld by the referees to win sometimes. Yeah. So I love all this kind of controversy and stuff. And yeah, referees, you're under a spotlight now because LeBron said y'all are weird and what you're doing to the Lakers. It's funny. Summer's saying they missed the call. It happened. Stop crying about it, LeBron. Yes, Summer Low. Tell LeBron James to stop crying, you big baby. Yes, Summer Low. I love it. Monique saying, Lex, that post was a few days ago from Josh Lewenberg, so very recently. Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know because I could have said this last summer. So this is good. If this is a recent quote, Masai Ujiri saying that he likes this core and he wants to keep it together is good for what Cool Cat is worried about. So yeah, Masai is quoted by Josh Lewenberg recently saying that he likes the core of the Raptors and he wants to keep it together. So that's good news, guys. That's good news. Forgetful saying, I never speculate on who might be traded. I do think the smart play comes with the draft. Will the Raptors trade big to get the number 2 pick? A trade this week, maybe, but it is best placed in the draft game. So Forgetful is all about getting Scoot Henderson. That's why it's 2. I know. And, listen, I will trust in Bobby Masai that if they want to move up in the draft. Now, one of the things we can't really speculate on that yet is because it all has to do with the lottery. We could get the number 2 pick just by a ping pong ball without even doing any trades or something. So we've got to go ahead and just wait before we do any trades related to the draft because we have to see what our draft pick is going to be like by the end of the season. We could get better and it could hurt our draft pick chances, or we could stay where we are and have really good draft pick chances because we already have good draft pick chances right now. And that, we could actually maybe trade up and get higher depending on where the ping pong ball falls in the lottery. So we'll have to see what happens with the lottery first. All right, let's see. Logical saying Turner got overpaid hard, and I think Indy is thinking pay him now while we have our main guys on rookie contracts at the moment. So they had space to do it, and maybe Jalen Smith isn't the next Indy center. Interesting. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, I maybe they want to get the deal done before the big contract with the TV and that changes the cap, and then that contract actually won't look that bad considering what's going to change soon. It could be like that. Tom Duke saying LeBron gets away with that reaction post missed call. Raptors would have got a T. Yeah, and where was the fines for him for criticizing the referees at this point? Seriously. Oh, they know they got it wrong, so they can't fine him for criticizing them. Yeah, maybe that's good, and it should be that way. But in some ways, people talk about referees after games and interviews, they get fines. And I'm not hearing anything about that. Nameless is saying, wonder where our boy Boston sports fan is at. I know. Should we wonder or worry? Is he missing or something like that? I don't know. Boston sports, we miss your welfare checks to make sure that we're okay out of the play in. I feel like that's such a humanitarian thing for a Boston fan that really cares to come and check on the Raptors fans and make sure we're okay in our bad season. What a nice guy. With all due respect. Fiercely saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Hoping we stick to the current core, no trade, as I believe they are finding their groove together. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with this. I'm 100% with this Fiercely Salsera. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying that quote. Masai Ujiri is saying he likes his core and he wants to keep things together. So hopefully that is what's going to happen. We'll have to see for sure. Sometimes people say things and they don't exactly happen that way. So we'll have to see how that all shapes out. But I appreciate Monique for posting it and putting it up on her Instagram. Masai Ujiri wants to keep the Raptors core together. I love that. I'm just going to hit love that right there. I just did it. Boom. Oh, there's another news thing. This is Monique's stories from Instagram. Kawhi Leonard has made it clear to the Clippers front office that he would welcome a point guard addition. And it's no surprise that two of his former teammates on his championship Raptors team, Lowry and Van Vliet, are on their short list of targets that they want. I tell you, listen, the Clippers and Steve Ballmer are exactly like Mr. Bean in that classic sketch where he's taking a test and that guy's sitting next to him and he's just trying to look on his test as hard as possible. Mr. Bean is the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, and we are that guy who's just trying to take the test next to him. And they're trying to cheat off our test and write in the answers that we got. That is what's going on with the Clippers. If you could have just translated our championship roster to the Los Angeles Clippers, Steve Ballmer, you would have. You would have tucked it out of the ground just like a tree with roots and put it and planted it somewhere else. If you could have done that with the whole team, you would have done that with the Raptors. Oh my gosh. You got to get a checklist. You say, okay, I got to get Lowry. We got to get Siakam. He wants to get every single Raptor that won a championship in 2019 at some point. Oh my gosh. Space Cadet saying he who must not be named. Thank you for saying that. That's enough to know. Was absolutely seething about how much praise Fred was getting from the broadcast against Portland. Yes, I love this. Yes, feel the hate inside you. He who shall not be named. You stupid ass channel. This is fun. I seen that he's mad at Matt Devlin because Matt Devlin treats Fred, talks so glowingly about him in the broadcast. It's like Matt Devlin is like a dad to Fred. He's like, that's my son, Fred VanVleet. He's so good. And I'm going to speak all of his virtues and positives and amazing things about him. The broadcasters do hear our noise. In fact, I wondered whether they watch us on this live stream. They might. Because sometimes the topic du jour or whatever they're talking about right now around Raptors world is usually something that we're talking about. Maybe it's just the echo chamber and we're just bouncing and stuff back off each other. But, that's what I'm saying is like, listen, so silly. It is so silly. I've forgotten who we're talking about. Oh, yeah, he doesn't matter. But yeah, he's mad at Matt Devlin because Matt Devlin speaks glowingly about Fred. And these media types are hearing the fans being realistic or mean or just like out of pocket with talking about Fred. And they're standing up for him because they like Fred and they think he's very good and they're professionals. And it's like, listen, if there was some sort of favoritism or weirdness or some conspiracy to stand up for Fred, why is it so consistent around the whole entire NBA that coaches and players of other teams, media from other teams, our media, have all talked up Fred and say he's an amazing player. And why are they doing this? Because our own fans have turned on him. And they're trying to re-educate our poorer fans, like he who shall not be named, the leader of them, and telling them that this is a good player that you should value on your team and stop sussing him or like getting after him or saying bad things about him. So I think that's hilarious. And yeah, let them all be mad and hate and be upset. Fred is doing great. Fred is having a great life. He's about to have a baby. He's going to get a big contract. He's going to stay a Raptor. And y'all can just be miserable, you motherfuckers. It's so funny. Summer's saying Clippers don't have many assets left after the Paul George trade. Yeah, that's true. Like they're hamstrung. I don't understand how they think they can just go get whatever they want like that. See, Ballmer, money can't buy you everything. That's what Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, taught me in the 80s during wrestling. Maybe you can get some people to kiss your boots. There'll always be somebody that's not going to kiss your boot for $100 stuffed down their mouth after you knock them out. So yeah, Steve Ballmer, money can't buy everything. There's a salary cap, and y'all have rules, and you can't just do anything you want with the Clippers organization. ah, All right. Mike is saying Boston sports is around. He dropped a comment on my recent drop. Bargnani to part of Kawhi, laughing my fucking ass off. The Clippers want the whole 2019 team, and he's working on time travel for Gasol to get him back in 19. That's funny, Mike. Yeah, he's going back in time to bring back Mark Gasol from like 5 years ago. Yeah, that's hilarious. Nameless saying Turner is easier to trade now because there's no need for salary fillers thrown into any deal. Much easier to move, in my opinion, and less complicated. Plus, the contract is future proof too. Okay. So Nameless sees it in a different way that actually because of Turner's contract was kind of underpaid, they had to make a filler to make it up. Now he can just get traded straight up for one player that's around the same salary as him. That logic makes sense also. Logical Raptors fanatic. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with Turner. You know, it's such a weird time with Indiana. It's like I know they really value him and love him, the Pacers Nation, but also they really have the disregard for like valuing him and keeping him. They always use him as trade rumor fodder, and he's always like rumored to be like being dealt. And now they do this contract renegotiation this week, and everything's confusing. It's like, have you guys been trying to trade him for 10 years or what? Or like, what is going on with Turner in Indiana? Are they still going to trade him now? I don't know. We'll just have to, once again, get that popcorn and just watch and spectate and see how it all goes down. All right, let's see the real mascot matchup at this point. The mascot is in the woods once again. He made it out of the field, and he is feeling kingly and feeling like the ruler of his destiny. But he is not feeling like a warrior because he's not physically doing well. He has a chunk of his leg that's been bitten out by a pack of wolves, and he's got a stick cane, and he's kind of like looks like an old feeble man walking through the woods slowly, trying to find his way out of the woods. It's very dangerous. Well, he hears somebody nearby, and it's a noise, and it's kind of crackling, and he's going down a path. He picked between two different paths. He picked one path that looked a little scary, but he thinks it have some goes somewhere where he can get out of the woods. The other one looked good, but he didn't like, for some reason, there was some feeling about it that wasn't right. He's going down the harder path. And now when he's going down the harder path, it's a little bit difficult. There's an incline. He's very dangerous, but he's navigating it through. And he gets to a certain point where he's like near another clearing, and it's very bright out. And he hears somebody's voice, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Whoa, who's that?" And this guy comes up to him, and his fellow says, "Hey, you're on my family's property. This is my father's land. My father's land. You got to get out of here. We don't allow trespassers, and we need to escort you out of the property." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, the guy seems nice enough." So he decides to walk with this guy's son, who is he was just out like kind of just taking a tour of the property, and he just happened upon the Raptor walking through the property. So he's walking with this guy, and he's kind of a nice guy. He's a young guy. He's like, "My dad's so cool. He's really rich. That's why we have this land." And he's just talking to him. He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So he's trying to see if this guy will help him get out of the woods. Well, will the son of the guy who owns the property help him get off the woods? Uh, we'll have to find out because he seems to know the way out of there to get to the end, out of the property line. So maybe you can take him to the road and get him out of the woods a little bit. We'll have to see next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. Will the sun help guide him out of the woods? You know. All right, let's see. Monique is saying Brian Windhurst speaking so highly on the Raptors in recent weeks. What does that mean? You know, he did make that comment at the beginning of the season that he said that he could see the Raptors making a very big mid-season trade and becoming a huge contender in the second half of the season. And I think in some ways he still wants that bet to come through. And that in some ways he wants to see us make one big move that's a splash, and that we all of a sudden have like a very, very better like winning percentage of winning games after that. So hey, Brian Windhurst is cheering for the Raptors to do better. Hey, thank you, sir, thank you. Mike saying I was thinking that, but extension restrictions on the trade are league wide, so I don't know when he can actually even be traded. If immediately I see the 35 million as Westbrook fill, and the Lakers want him at 30. Okay. So yeah, we're talking about Miles Turner still. Yeah, so the money may line up better with the Lakers and they can get rid of Russell finally. So there, yeah, that may be part of it right there. Kenny's here. Good to see Kenny, good Raptor freak. The way the ball's been moving, I see a win tonight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, whoo, we got these young guys, Precious and Scotty, and we're just on a fact finding mission to see even more and more how their talent is just amazing and what they can do on the court. And Precious has just been so good recently, and I just want to see more of it. In fact, I've been waiting for this game since Saturday night and watching the Trailblazers game. It's like I want more. I really am at this point where I'm like I'm really enjoying watching the Raptors because they're in a place where not a lot of people are watching them because they think they're just a losing team this year. And I know they're going about to do some really amazing things, and I'm rooting for them. So it's really fun to watch them kind of pull it out of the mud, as they say, and get things going again because there's some really cool stuff developing with Precious and Scotty right now that is very much fun. Like it's exciting to me. Like when you watch a TV show back in the day, you'd watch it week to week, and you knew it would come on at the same time every week, and you look forward to it. Well, that's the kind of the way I feel about Raptor games right now because I am very much looking forward to the next episode of what happens with Scotty and Precious. So yeah, it's gonna be fun tonight. I really am excited. Cool Cat saying, I want us to keep our core 8 players at all costs. They have not been given a fair chance yet without a center. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. You know, in some ways, well, the center's coming. Koloko hopefully will be that guy. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I do really want to give them a chance too further. I don't think that we've not. I think this is true. What Cool Cat's saying is that this core is not given a full chance for sure, and we need to give them more time. Still, I believe that too. G saying Cool Cat, I feel the same. Memphis has lost many games since losing Adams. Losing a key center hurts the team, their offense and defense. Yeah, this is a big deal. You know, Nurkic not being available for Portland made them a much worse team and way easier to handle. And this is true. And in some ways, we think about that logic and we're like, well, we just add a center to our team. Holy crap. Maybe this would actually really help a lot of things. Now, one thing I will say in the short term, without moving anybody, Precious is improving as a starting center with the low post defense. He was doing stuff in the last game that's much better with him in the starting lineup for defensive purposes down low. In fact, he kind of does get in between people and doesn't let people have easy baskets no matter what. And that in some ways, he is closer to being a good center like Cam to me. I'd say just play Cam. But if they're not, in some ways, Precious is really playing good center defensive stuff in some ways. So I'm really happy with some of the things I'm seeing from him. And he really cares, you could tell, because he talks to Cam and Thad and the older big guys, and he's learning from them. And you could tell that that's a part of his game that is important to Precious, is being a good low post defender and not letting people score on our goal easily. I think he said something about it after the game the other day too, that he said, oh, too much stuff was getting by me and I don't want to allow that. So if he's in that mindset of guarding the basket and the paint, I like that. OG not being able to play, but Precious being in the starting lineup, that is like the lemonade that's made out of the lemons of OG getting hurt. Let's see. Happy 5th belated birthday to Sana Van Vliet. Keep up the great work, Fred. Love to see it. It's such a cute picture of Fred's daughter yesterday, all dressed up and just like looking like a princess, just so sweet and beautiful. And Fred celebrating her birthday on his Instagram. Go, little Sana Van Vliet. 5 years old. That's awesome. These kids are growing up quick. I mean, how old is Fred Jr.? He's going to be 4. He's going to be 4 this year. It's crazy. And then this news child's coming. Sue's here. Good morning, everyone. Let's get another win tonight. Thank you, Sue. Check out Sue's YouTube channel. Play it again with friends. Sue with friends. Always different people showing up on that show. I love the stuff y'all are doing on that channel, Sue. It's a lot of fun. And I really like hearing your breakdowns of the videos musically. And when you're talking about like voice pitches and what they did with this and stuff. And it was funny when you did a Missionary Man recently and you hated the video because you don't like snakes. I was like watching Sue cringe. She's like, ooh, good entertainment. Check out Play It Again, Sue. YouTube channel, music reaction channel by Sue is awesome. G saying Precious has been a difference maker because of him playing a center. There has been a difference in how the team has been playing with him on. Yeah, I agree with this. I'm noticing this too, G, that in some ways there's not an easy like path to the basket if he's out on the court. And that's good. That's good. And he should have this mindset. I mean, I wish Scotty had it a little bit more, but he could get it more. It's just maybe it's not totally in his like emphasis area of things that he's really, really concentrating or centering his thoughts on. That Scotty down the road will need to be a better like sealer for the low post. That he, too many guys get behind him and surprise him by getting a layup or a dunk. And I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah, Sue, that was funny. Yeah, I'm watching all your clips. They're hilarious. They're good stuff. All right, let me just do a recap since it's just about under an hour. We can do an under an hour preview. Let's see. Sue saying yes. G Precious is making a big difference for us. We missed him when he was out. You could tell the difference with him back compared to when he was out and how much more effective we are in certain areas of our team. I, in particular, would say rebounding is the hugest difference because we're just a way better rebounding team with him in our lineup. Oh man, he's been a huge boost, and he makes himself known for how vital and important he is to this team, and that's really good for him. All right, the injuries for tonight. Once again, going over them for the Raptors. Delano Banton is still questionable for today from his hip. But I've heard noise that he may be available for tonight. OG is out already for sure from his wrist. They're still waiting for results with the MRIs and different things they've done to test his wrist. So we still don't know definitively what a timetable for him to be out will be, but he's definitely out today. Otto Porter Jr. out because of toe surgery. On the other side of the ball, the Suns have quite a few injuries. Of course, we know that Jay Crowder is out because he's held out because he doesn't want to play for the Suns and has been recently given permission to speak to the Bucks about possibly joining them. I don't like that. And then the 3 Suns that are out otherwise are Devin Booker, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet. So basically, they're 3 most important guards other than Chris Paul that are kind of their best scorers, shooters from the outside too. So I am not upset that Devin Booker's not playing today, or Cam Payne, or Landry Shamet. That those guys are, go ahead, just sit out. That's fine. We don't want to worry about y'all around the 3-point line for sure. Yeah. Forgettable saying, I guess we can take some consolation that sports absorbs some of the negative energy that mostly male immature adults bring. Further down that spectrum are some pretty horrible actors. Some consolation. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if anything, sports is a good distraction for people in a world that seems like it's going crazy right now. That's one of the things I've said is like, listen, at least the Raptors are around to distract me and give me entertainment and make me have something to root for and feel good about when there's a lot of other things in the real world and different things that are going on that are just absolutely appalling and scary and suck. So, yeah, they're a good escape for people that are not doing well. As far as like the negative energy, listen, there's ways to channel energy, bad energy in sports to positivity and good things. Whether it's like you're a negative person, you just go out and shoot a hoops a lot to work out that negativity in your body. Whether it's, you finding something in sport that turns your life around to make you a more positive person because you're kind of more, but yeah, there's a lot of toxic online with fans and just like toxic masculinity and the way men think in general ways sometimes is very bad, and immature is a good word for it, a very good word for it. All right, the referees for tonight. James Capers Jr. is our crew chief. He's a nepo baby, and he is not very nice to us. He likes lobster roll. And second ref is Deandre Taylor. We love him. Deandre Taylor is one of our favorite refs. He's a badass. You go, Deandre Taylor. He likes breakfast food. And Matt Boland, he is a professional golfer. He is our third ref, and he is not so great for us either, but he does favor us. He does favor us over Phoenix. So the ref crew's not horrible. I don't like James Capers, though. And I'm telling you, he's going to have some bad calls that are not going to be nice to us tonight. There are going to be calls where Raptor fans are going to be like, that guy is full of shit, is what we're going to be saying after some of the stuff he calls tonight. That's just how he is. He's just that way. The last couple of games he's repped us, he makes really horrible calls against the Raptors, and it really pisses me off. Mike saying, we have many things to explore. Options are open. When those options close, like DeMar's defense and JV's defense were the issues stopping the team from growing, at the moment we have a solid base and things to try. I think this is a really interesting way of putting things, Mike, because in some ways, look, the limitations of JV and DeMar were very true. And at a certain point, we outgrew them to where we needed to get to because they're going to hold us back. Now, the thing about our current core and the way that it's built, because it's so gifted and talented and positive and just like young and learning and versatile, and they have the talents. There's no like limitations in this way where I can see in the future where it's like, well, say we got to get rid of OG because his defense isn't good enough. No, you're not going to say that ever. Okay, well, why would we have to get rid of OG? Where's the flaw? I don't see any flaw. That's what I'm saying. There were flaws in JB's game that hurt us. There were flaws in DeMar's game that hurt us. But in a lot of our core guys right now, there's not flaws that kind of are like, this is something it's more likely that they have the skill set to work out any problem that just arises, mushrooms up all of a sudden, than there's going to be a flaw found in these guys' game that is absolutely a game killer for the Raptors to win ever. That's part of the difference, I think, Mike, is that we developed that core with Lowry, Valanciunas, and DeRozan with Casey, but at a certain point, the wheels on the car just don't go as far because of DeRozan's defensive problems. That I don't see that with the Raptors now. That down the road, we're going to be like, oh, crap, we could go a little further if we just got rid of Scotty because his defense isn't good enough. That sounds crazy. Just me saying that sounds crazy. You think his defense is not going to be good enough? No. And that's the thing. That's the interesting thing about this core is that I don't know if we'll run into this wall we did with the core before where it's like, yeah, we're not going to get any further in the playoffs with DeMar as our main guy. Does that make sense? That our versatility and the talent and skills of these guys, it means that I don't think there's anything that we're going to run into. Be like, yeah, we need to get rid of this guy because he's liability, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, and very interesting stuff. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining me today for a preview of tonight's game against the Phoenix Suns. 9 p.m. is the start Eastern time, and hopefully we can start very well. The keys to victory for me are going to be very similar to ones that I've said recently. It's to get a good start, get the first couple baskets, and be the team with the lead first. We don't play well coming from behind, and we play really well when we're on top and we're keeping a lead and able to kind of just keep pushing them down and keeping above them with a good layer of 100% maple syrup lead. And that'll make it easier for us to win. When we get in a scoring battle with the Suns, we don't want to do that either. It is better if we keep it a low score. Like if we have a couple of quarters tonight where we keep the Suns between 15 and 25 points, a little bit less than like up at 30, that would be really good. Because if the total scores at the end of the game are at between 100 and 110, that'll much more be easier for us to win than if they're getting more higher. Because we, once again, one of the things we don't want to do on the West Coast this trip is play too much West Coast style. We're bringing our Eastern Conference grinded out defensive. We're going to really frustrate you style out West. And when we play high scoring game, it'll be like the Warriors game on Friday night, and we'll get outscored. And we can't do that against Phoenix. We do not want to get in a scoring race with them, even though some of their best guys to score for them are out. But it's way better and smart if the score is low, and that means we probably have a better chance to win because that's more our style than the style they want to run. They want to run and they want to get offensive. In some ways, they're not a good defensive team, and they're going to want to open up the game and make it a very fast-paced, high-scoring game. So the more we can control the tempo and keep the score down, the better chance we have to win tonight. Of course, always concentrate on that three-point line and limiting them shooting threes. And if we can get more threes than them, boom, we can win. We get more rebounds than them, boom, we can win. We get less turnovers than them, boom, we can win. Those are the kind of things in battles that are very necessary for the Raptors to win. The rebounds and less turnovers and getting points off of the other team's turnovers. If we can get them to double up turnovers on our number of turnovers, that is always good. And we have done that a lot recently. So I'm all about that. Monica's got all the Raptors on her list there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Raptors in a row. That's what she wants. She wants 10 good producing Raptors. A nice effort from around the bench into the starting lineup. Everybody doing stuff. Nobody coming out there and doing nothing. No bad bench stuff. Just everybody playing at a high level and all equitable. We've seen the more we have double-digit scorers on our team, like 6 guys get double digits, the more we have a better balanced offense, and it's easier for us to score. So more of that great synergy and passing and playing off each other and getting easy baskets that y'all have shown recently also. So there's all kinds of good things y'all have been doing already. Keep building on them. And keep doing them. And no offensive lapses where you guys can't score for like 4 minutes, and no defensive lapses where you guys just don't play defense for like half a quarter and the other team gets like 30 to 40 points in that quarter. Yeah, you got to be good on all this stuff, Raptors. And I believe in y'all. I think y'all can beat the Phoenix Suns tonight because the winning on the West Coast has felt real good. And you want to have more of it. You want more of that good feeling. Well, you got to beat them tonight. Jordan, good to see you. It's been a little bit. Always good to see Jordan. I hope you'll come play a trivia again with us sometime. And let's go Raps. Yeah, I love it. Forgetful saying, I'm looking forward to other teams moving the defensive help to stop Precious and giving Pascal and others more room. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, let's really make defenses that have to play against us have a really hard time figuring out where they're going to try and stop who and how, because they can't double everybody. And more of this philosophy of like the Raptors coming in with their offense and picking apart the defense like a puzzle. It's basically like where they see where the instinct of where they're going and what they're doing, and they react to it in the moment. And boom, they find the open mismatch or the place where they can really capitalize on getting an easy bucket. It really is like a visual kind of reaction thing. See this? Okay, they're going this way. They're favoring this way. All right, go that way. And Scotty's so good at finding the right pass in those situations to the right person. And that's part of the fun too, is I just want to see Scotty do more of this really crazy ways he finds people and sets them up for easy baskets. Because you notice Gary shoots so well when he's getting a pass from Scotty. And in some ways, he's helping Gary stay consistent because he's finding him in ways that are very helpful for him to get high percentage shots up. So yeah, I love everything about what I just described. Tom Duke saying, good one. Scotty's defense isn't good. Yeah, that's pretty funny, isn't it, Tom? It's like, yeah, where are we gonna get to the point? Maybe with Fred, maybe we're getting to the point, well, Fred is kind of a liability in this way. Well, let's just put him on the bench then in this way. Like, don't get rid of him completely. Because like I said, his brain trust and the brain of the Raptors team is very important and very good to have. Be great, Big Four. Let's go Raptors. Keep that effort level up. That's right, Big Four. I'll be wearing this jersey once again tonight. during the game. I got my Scotty Barnes number 4 that I will be wearing tonight during the game, hopefully for good luck. It keeps us going winning. Mike saying with balanced options become more effective based on other teams' ability to plan defense against everything we can do. So more balance and more effectiveness will happen. One man can be planned for. Yeah, they can plan for when you have one superstar and he's really tough. You got Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Okay, yeah, you're going to base it around them. But with the Raptors, where do you start? Okay, Pascal. Okay, what are you going to do with Scotty? Okay, what are you going to do with Precious? Okay, what are you going to do with Gary? There you go. All right, y'all, please like, comment, subscribe, share if you like my channel. And I'll be back tomorrow for a reaction to the game tonight. Hopefully a good win for the Raptors over the Phoenix Suns. Let's go, Raptors!